And what a crazy day in Bitcoin already. We've had massive intraday swings here on Bitcoin, as low as 37,000 and as high as 39,500 all intraday. We're currently sitting just shy of 39,000 right now, which would now mean Bitcoin is up 1.5%. Very interesting markets we have. Should we be getting prepared for a 25k? Yes, I've been hearing the rumors, 25k Bitcoin. Should we be thinking about that? Is that something that should be in our vocabulary right now? We're going to take a look at the charts. I'm going to show you the key levels for Bitcoin here today. So make sure you stay tuned till the very end. Make sure you're hitting that like button, you're subscribing, and you're joining us on this journey to building sustainable wealth in crypto. As always, don't forget to support NordVPN. Get yourself set up on a VPN, guys. Absolute no-brainer. Make sure you're set up on a VPN. NordVPN have been kind enough, they're the best in the business, to offer us 70% off of a 2-year plan. They actually throw in a month for free as well. So you got 25 months of coverage for about $50. Absolute no-brainer. $2 or $3 a month. You won't even notice it. Leave your account. And if you got anything meaningful invested in crypto, it's really important that you at least lock your front door, right? Basic privacy on the web. Hope you guys do get yourself set up. But let's go check out the charts here with Bitcoin. And as we can see here, a really big candle with big wicks to the top side and to the bottom side, just showing you how much volatility there is in the market today. Just literally as we're talking right now, we've just crossed 39,000 again. What does this mean for Bitcoin? Where are we going to go from here? We're going to take a look at the charts. But first, guys, what is going on in the macroeconomy? And US warns that Moscow has compiled post-invasion kill list. Biden agrees in principle to meet with Putin if Russia has not invaded Ukraine. Well, crazy headlines. These are the kind of things that are going to continue to suppress markets and keep markets on edge and keep us in a risk-off environment. We know the US markets are closed today. I think it's President's Day over there in the States, but we can see from the pre-market that the Dow futures are trending at 0.5% down. You got 0.75% down on the S&P and another 1.5% on the Nasdaq. Growth is getting hit, and this is the bucket that Bitcoin is most correlated to. If we look at the Europe markets today to get an idea, 2% down on the DAX, 0.37 on the FTSE where I am here in London, the CAC down almost 2%. So pretty crazy markets today. We're seeing it red, and Bitcoin is just kind of having a bit of a weird data. If we head into the hourly, we can see it kind of can't really make up its mind. And the first thing I want to mention to you guys is don't fall for this first rebound. Really important. I mean, I saw this happening through the night as I was checking my phone when I shouldn't have been and should be resting. But we saw here that we started bouncing up, and I was worried that a lot of you guys will start to long this thinking this is a reversal. And then when this happened, you see that we're thrown back into a trend. Now we're getting a couple of red candles again, but you can't fall for this just yet, guys. Remember, we've fallen from the M pattern. The M pattern broke down from this neckline at 41,659. Okay, we broke down here, we came down, we broke the next level down, we got support from this level, 38,402. We rallied, we got sent back down and broke down through that level, okay? Here we had to go all the way down to 37,203 to bounce, which is where we're getting our bounce from now. But we're still in a downtrend. We're creating lower lows and we're creating lower highs, okay? There's your high, there's your lower high. And here, unless we create a high above here, and then above this line here, so really getting back above 40,000, we're still in this M pattern breakdown, okay? So unless we see this and we start working our way back up, we're still in this M pattern. So you have to be wary of this, okay? This is what you want to be wary of to the downside. So definitely not playing this market in short-term trading. If you guys are, and particularly if you're doing so on leverage, you guys are crazy, man. You crazy. I don't know if you got balls of steel or something else, man. But yeah, that's not something I'm doing. I'm here holding in the long term. And the question now arises, should we be selling our positions? Are we going to be seeing a 25k Bitcoin? And if I zoom out here on the hourly, in fact, let's go to the file and see if we can get it a bit cleaner here on this charts for you guys. What we want to look at is what is the story here, okay? And the story here is when we were in the downward trend, when we broke down, we created our low at 32. Okay, now it was very important that that low was higher than 29, because if we zoom out long enough, you'll remember that the previous low in the summer of 2021, we wicked down to 29 before running back up to 69 later in 2021. Now, when we rotated at 32, we then started creating different levels of support, and most notably was this pivot point here. okay, which you can see where the arrow is pointing here. So this one sits roughly at about 36,226. So this downtrend we're seeing now, we need to rotate before 36,226, okay? So if we can rotate before this pivot point here, we will keep our higher lows on this trend, and we can continue to move slowly, at least sideways, if not slightly upwards here on Bitcoin. The moment I start becoming a bit more worried is twofold. One, if we lose 36,226, we lose this pivot, we create a lower low, okay, which falls in around this horizontal support from this green line, which you can see. And then if we fall lower than that and we get a retest of that level and continue to come back down, I then want to see, do we create a low below 32, okay? Particularly the wick we closed here, the lowest wick, I think we wicked as far as, I don't know if we actually closed 32 or 33, but the lowest wick here is what we wanted to be monitoring, okay? So 32,895 or whatever it is to the exact cents. So that is what I'm watching out for. I'm not 100% concerned until one, we lose this pivot, and two, that lower low, okay? If we lose that lower low, then things get really scary, okay? Because then the pattern is an absolute mess, because you got the low at 29, you had the low at 32-ish, and then if you had a lower low than the 32, that can form a scary pattern. So we don't want to see that happening. We want to see Bitcoin hold. Firstly, we want to see it hold this level, and then hopefully if we do lose that level, then we must hold this 32 level here. If I bring out the EMA ribbon here on the 4 hourly, you can see it's not pretty sight right now, okay? Big extension from our EMA ribbon, nowhere near retracing back up to try even test the EMA ribbon. So this is a powerful downtrend right now. I mean, the bears are in control right now, and that is very clear. And it's, we can see why. It's not just from a technical perspective, it's from a fundamental perspective, because we know where the markets are sat. The whole markets, all the stocks, all equities are getting absolutely roiled, and we're feeling that here on crypto as well. We're in a very, very risk-off environment. And whenever you look at any conflict and when they've happened, you always see the market bottoming out when these conflicts happen, and then it'll start to rally. So if tensions continue to get worse, I expect to see more downside on Bitcoin, and we'll have to prepare for that here. I'm personally not selling, so a lot of you guys who are selling, there's absolutely no reason for you to be selling right now. I mean, had you argued, okay, you were selling at 69 and then you missed, the fall all the way down here, then fine. But if you imagine an elastic band, right, and this Bitcoin has gone from 69 all the way back now to where we're at 39. There's probably a little bit more slack in it to pull it back a little bit more, 32, 33, 34, around that level. But for it to go to lower than 29, something really has to snap. It would really be, like a full-scale world war, really frighten and test Bitcoin for that to happen, right? So, but what's more likely is what happens if you let go of that elastic band? What if the tensions release? What if Biden and Putin sit down and say, hang on, there is no war? How quickly does that elastic band spit out and fly back to the upside? That is what you're likely to miss if you time this market. And you probably already saw that, guys. If you saw the recovery from here all the way back up to how quickly we went from 32, all the way up here to about 45. I mean, let's measure it. We're talking from there all the way up here to 45, 17 days, guys. So 17 days we moved. And that is quick. That is a very quick move to the upside. And the reality is a lot of that move was in these candles here. Okay? So a lot of that move, there you go. That move there was just 1 day, 8 hours. Okay, a lot of that move was just in there, and a lot of that move was in here. So if you're missing the market in these key 4 hourly candles, you're really struggling to time the market, and then you become the person that is chasing the market. We saw when Bitcoin crossed 40,000, how much FOMO started coming in, right? We saw the green candles after green candles, and a whole bunch of longs start to get liquidated. Even today, guys, look at these easy pickings. I can't believe a lot of you guys are being the easy pickings for these market makers. Trust me, I worked on the market making side. I know how this works. I worked at a large investment bank. This is easy pickings. The retail trader who doesn't take the time to learn and just goes into highly leveraged positions. It's an absolute joke. Look here, another 122 million. Yesterday, 192 million. 2 days ago, 126 million. This is ridiculous. Here, 17th Feb, 280 million, $250 million of longs liquidated. Greedy longs contributing to the volatility in this market when we don't need it. We don't need this. These fluctuations could be a lot more shallower and bearable. Now, the amplitude is so big of these moves in crypto because of the sheer amount of speculation and leverage in the system. So if you're trading this for leverage and if you're trading this for speculation, you know, you can't be surprised when you get burnt. And again, a lot of people following some of these crypto pump and dump channels, well, I shouldn't really call them pump and dump, but these crypto moonboy channels who just tell you, here's the pattern, trade it, oh, look, we got liquidated. You know, you've got to be super careful, guys, because at the end of the day, they're not tying in their macroeconomics. They don't know what's moving the price. They're seeing a pattern in the charts and they're suggesting that you click the link in the description to buy it. Please do not fall for this. Please do not be vulnerable enough to do that. Crypto fear and greed index sitting at 25. We have fear in the market, ladies and gentlemen. As expected, you can see here, if we pull up the yearly chart, you can see we've dropped really quickly in a couple of days here from 52 all the way back down to 27, as the market is probably pricing in that we might start going back to test these 32 levels. You can start to see the, you know, people's tones are changing. People are getting a little bit more fearful again, and they're thinking that Bitcoin is starting to fall. And it makes sense. It makes sense as we come to this pivot point. This is a crucial level and people are feeling it now. It's going to test the resolve of Bitcoin. There's no obvious support levels after 38,405, which we're fighting for right now. And therefore you do start heading down to 36,200 area where this green line lies and where this pivot point is. So there you go, guys. There is the update on Bitcoin and what is happening. Ultimately, nothing for us to do. We need to sit back. We need to wait for the pullbacks, and we need to therefore enter our positions which are weak. Not financial advice, but that is what I'm doing. I'm not selling a single Bitcoin. I saw Bitcoin go all the way down to 29 and run up to 69. And when it was at 69, I can tell you one thing for sure. I wish I bought more, but I did buy as much as I could at 29. So you guys don't want to have that regret that when Bitcoin runs up to 100,000 after now, that we didn't do as much as we could to build conviction and have as much as we can in our favorite conviction plays. Remember, guys, only invest what you're willing to lose. Biggest advice anybody can give you. What money you put in crypto should just be what you're willing to lose. If it's stretching you, if it's giving you sleepless nights, if it's worrying you, that money should not be in crypto. That's my advice. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. Don't forget to smash up the like button and subscribe. Don't forget to support NordVPN. Links in the description code, coupon code. Oh man, they offer a 30-day guarantee, I believe, money back guarantee. So if you're not completely happy, just switch it off. Absolute no-brainer, guys. What I'm going to do is at the end of this video, I'm going to link up the video to building your crypto portfolio. If you've not watched that video, make sure you go watch that video. Really important. Now is the time to educate ourselves. Whilst all the tourists are not here, all the pump boys are not watching right now, let's educate ourselves. So when that bull market comes, we did all the work. Now in the bear markets, in the tough times, in the crypto winters, when nobody wanted to do the work, we built our portfolios, we educated ourselves, we allocated all the right positions. So when Bitcoin's running to 100 and all of our favorite altcoins are doing the same, we knew that we literally rolled up our sleeves in these moments when nobody was watching these videos, nobody was caring about crypto because it's not on the front newspaper, our taxi driver's not talking about it, but we took the time to educate ourselves and keep leveling up. So make sure you click the link in the top right. I'll leave that video there. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.